the podium at this time Shawn Cullinane, and I'm going to ask Shawn if he could just take off his trustee's hat for a moment. The library doesn't exist in a vacuum. We're part of the community of Lindenhurst, and as such, our relationship with the village and with the village government has been, over the years, one of the reasons that the library has been able to serve the community as well as it has. And Shawn, I know you have a unique perspective on this partnership that we have at this point.
Mr. Sweeney had to follow an English teacher, but I had to follow a state assemblyman, the governor's office, DEC, so I'll do my best. Thank you very much. Besides having the pleasure of serving on the Board of Trustees, as was noted, I also serve as the Clerk-Treasurer of the Village of Lindenhurst and act as a liaison between the library and the village. And as Bob noted, we have had a great relationship over the years. A lot of things had to happen before we got to this point. Acquiring the property, going through the subdivision process, checking the zoning, doing the planning. Even though the library is its own municipality, doesn't have to get building permits and things like that, the library actively sought cooperation with the village. Is this something that you want? Is this something that looks good? Will it work for the community? And the village, in turn, came back and worked hand in hand with the library to make sure that the designs were right, the building permits were right, the curb permits were right, the right-of-way situation was handled. So everything worked hand in hand. We're very pleased. So on behalf of Mayor Tom Brennan and the members of the village board, we would also like to congratulate the library on a project well done. And from the village's point of view, this is really, really, really important because, as has been pointed out already, this is a great example of how to manage stormwater runoff, how to manage pollutants that go into our environment, how to manage the water that sits in our streets. A lot of things happen here. So we can have a couple of these postage size parking lots, and I don't think this is quite postage. I think it's a little bigger than that. But if we had 24 of these around the community, which is very, very possible, we'd do a great deal to manage the stormwater runoff that happens throughout our community. And as was pointed out, the last couple of days have been really dramatic, a lot certainly in our own basements, as you all know. So if we can help in any way to mitigate that, control that, manage that, while enhancing environmental concerns, we'd be doing a great service. And I just want to point out two examples regarding the cost savings. And I think it is very true that the cost savings are substantial. We put money into doing certain different things in terms of the pavers, in terms of the solar lighting, in terms of the different aspects. But we save money by not having to dig wells. Digging wells is a big deal. You have to dig these holes well into the ground. You've got to put these structures on top of them, and they don't last forever. I can tell you from the village's point of view, we're rebuilding these drainage wells constantly. They fall apart, they cave in. So we've eliminated that. Curbing did not have to be put into this project. Curbing is expensive. Ask any builder, they'll tell you curbing by the foot is very expensive. We've eliminated that. We did not have to put in a sprinkler system. Another huge investment, another huge maintenance issue. We've taken the natural resources and put it right back into the environment. It's now going to sprinkle itself the way this thing is set up. So there's a lot of immediate savings in terms of the construction, which then goes back into hopefully other projects. So again, on behalf of the Village of Lindenhurst, we just want to say thank you. It's been our pleasure to be a partner, and good luck with future projects.